Hey guys, and happy Friday. Welcome to, hang on, let me pause that. Happy Friday. My name is Melanie Wagner, and I am wife and a mom, but I'm also committed to all things health and wellness related. It's sort of a little passion of mine that was birthed almost 17 years ago after my third daughter was born. Today I'm going to talk to you about cosmetics, and not necessarily because I am all that into makeup. I'm really not. I would love to say that I'm not into makeup because I'm so like all natural and groovy, which I sort of am, but that's really not the reason why. I'm really just lazy, and I am like the last person to get ready in the morning before we have to go anywhere. I'm usually like running out the door, so I don't take time to really have a nice beauty regimen. But I did realize that a lot of makeup, as I've looked into it on this health journey, a lot of makeup is very toxic. So I'm not going to get into all of the details of the different ingredients because there is like a laundry list of what's bad. But today I'm going to touch on a couple, because what I've done now that the company I represent has decided to have makeup, I'm like, oh, now I gotta learn about it. So I'm sort of like jumping in with both feet. And today I did some research on a couple of different things, and I found it interesting. I hope you do too. On a total side note, those of you who are gluten-free, my friend Lisa Wilson informed me today that Chick-fil-A now has gluten-free buns. Y'all, if that's the truth, I really think Christmas has come early. I am so flipping excited about that. But that was a total side note. And I know Chick-fil-A isn't always healthy, but I love gluten-free buns. That makes me very happy. Okay, back to makeup. The couple ingredients I'm going to touch on today are talc and phthalates. And yes, I had to look up how to pronounce that because it's spelled like a way I would never know how to pronounce. Okay, talc. Talc is usually found in eyeshadow and lipstick. We're only talking about cosmetics here. I know talc is found in other things, but we're focusing on that. I can't really touch on talc without talking about nanoparticles. Now, this is also something I've learned about in this health and wellness community, that nanoparticles are something that actually, when you're like taking something out that's a really fine powder, you can actually breathe in and aspirate that into your lungs, and it can cause lung distress. So non-nanoparticles are very important in your makeup, but that's a side note. I will talk about that another day. But talc, one of its bad attributes is the fact that it's usually a nanoparticle, so it can be absorbed into the lungs. So you have to think, most talc gets its bad rap from baby powder and women's powder, linked to ovarian cancer and things like that. But when you're putting a powder on your face, what are you doing? Like breathing in. So that's a side note. What makes talc so bad? Okay, cosmetic grade talc, first of all, is not regulated. Now that can be good and bad, but it is not regulated in the cosmetic industry. The risk with talc has been linked also to more based on ovarian cancer. It's never been conclusively linked to lung function, but I got that off of the FDA.gov website. So take that with a grain of salt. But even the American Cancer Society suggests avoiding products that contain talc. So just something to keep in mind. Why would we use it? Even as far as I'm concerned, why would we use a product that even the American Cancer Society says to avoid if you can? So I love the fact that our products that I've found now with the Savvy Minerals makeup is talc free. Okay, that's just cool. All right, the next thing we're going to touch on are phthalates. I'm sure if you're a scientist, you're probably like dying right now because I'm sure I'm still not pronouncing it right. But phthalates are known as plasticizers. That's sort of their little nickname in the CDC definition. So that should really make like all kinds of bells and whistles go off in your head. But they, yeah, I could probably stop right there and like say, okay, they're called plasticizers, but we'll go ahead and dive in a little more. Phthalates are used in products such as toys. Actually, they're banned in toys now for children under 3 that might put toys in their mouth. vinyl flooring, wall coverings, detergents, etc. It is also used in cosmetics. Phthalates are actually a family of chemicals, but they are known, this was the thing for me, whether or not they can ever prove it may be linked to something really detrimental to our body. Guess what phthalates do? Phthalates are endocrine disruptors. Well, you might ask, hey, Becky, hey, how are you doing, girl? That's my friend who just jumped in. I haven't taught her in forever. Endocrine disruptors, y'all, that's bad. You do not want to use something that's going to disrupt the normal function of your endocrine system, and phthalates are known as that. And so you can actually also think about the fact that phthalates can be found in food containing products. So like food containers can have phthalates in them, which is where we got, remember the big thing a couple of years ago, we all started looking for plastic bottles that were 1, 2, or 5. Those were good. If they were any other number, you were supposed to avoid them. Guess what that was? That was because they contained phthalates. So honestly, whether they're considered safe or not, believe it or not, manufacturers are starting to pull phthalates out of their manufacturing process. What they're replacing it with, I have no idea. But I am really glad to see that the cosmetic line we have now is phthalate free. So that's my little tip. I got into way more chemistry than I really feel comfortable with, and probably any of you, my friends in the audience who are in the science industry, I probably just butchered the names of those things. But I do think it's important that we learn what we put on our body, what we put in our body, what we put around our body, what we put on our pets, what we put on our children, what we put on ourselves, what we wash our clothes in. It's just all something to think about. So have a great Friday. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy just a great time together with your family or with friends or whatever it is you decide to do. And I really hope until next time we meet that you are happy, healthy, oily, and free. Bye, guys.